Hey, what's up, y'all? So I'm back again for another recap of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Alright, so before we get into the recap, I just want to cover a few things that a lot of people have been putting in the comments, and I just want to clear some things up really quickly. So the first, I do know that the station is called Paddington Station, and I do know that John lives in Western Supermare, UK. I like to make up names. I think it's funny, so that's just my sense of humor. So don't take me too seriously if I say a name wrong. I'm probably doing it on purpose, or I'm probably doing it as a joke just to be funny. Y'all need to chill out. Not that serious. Second thing is, I am aware that Angela was on Mari, and I have seen the clip. I love you guys. You all want me to be so aware of what's going on and all the funny stuff that you find online, and I thank you and I appreciate you. I've seen it. Okay, guys, I saw it. Totally weird and hilarious. I saw it. Third thing, and this is a spoiler, so if you don't like spoilers or you only want to watch the show as it airs with whatever content TLC decides to show us, skip ahead about 15 to 30 seconds right now. So I do know that John and Rachel are currently married. They got married like in May or something like that, and yeah, good for them. I really don't have any thoughts for or against their marriage. It seemed like they were both trying to move pretty fast as I'm watching the show play out, so I'm actually not surprised at all that they got married. This couple might work. Like I said, John is slow, and Rachel seems like she's perfectly fine with being the person in charge and taking care of him and leading his hand down the road of life, because that's what he's going to need. I don't know where they're living currently. They might be in England, I think. I hope they're not still in his mom's house, but they probably are, because Rachel didn't have any money either. Neither one of them have a pot to piss in, so they're probably still living in John's mom's house. But I do know that they're married, and, you know, good for them. Whatever. So that's it for all the little updates. I just want to let you guys know of the things that I am aware of, and I thank you guys so much for trying to keep me informed in the comments. You guys are the best. Y'all are like little detectives. Y'all are looking up stuff, finding articles and videos and all kinds of things to try to send to me. Only thing is, when you've got thousands of people watching you, a lot of times you get the same thing like 100 times. So I just want you guys to know that I'm aware of a lot of the things that I don't talk about in my recaps, just because the recap would be ridiculously long. I mean, you see how long it takes me just to recap the show. There's no way that I could possibly recap the show and talk about stuff that's currently going on in these people's lives in a timely manner. I just couldn't do it. So let's get into the recap. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our old couples out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Jesse and Darcey, because they had a whole bunch of mess going on this week, and I'm probably going to go ahead and lay them to rest after this episode. I'm going to give them a full recap now, but I'm probably going to go ahead and bury them and have the eulogy and everything, because I'm so over it. This week, Jesse and Darcey are spending their last night in New York together, and they decide to go out and get some pizza at some cute little pizzeria. It looked like the food was really good, but of course Jesse and Darcey can't even get through a meal without arguing. Darcey's looking at her phone, and of course social media comes up, and Jesse's still pissed about the whole social media rant. Jesse needs to let that social media rant go. He sees that Darcey is kind of immature, and she likes to put all her business out on social media. Sir, if you don't like it, then just leave. Why do we have to keep having the same argument over and over again? Of course, they start bickering back and forth because Darcey's like, I like social media, and I'm not going to be bullied. Jesse is being real passive aggressive and throwing little slick shots at her, saying, yeah, do what you want, girl, go ahead. And they are just going at each other's throats right when the pizza comes. Pizza gets there, and for some reason, you know, Jesse says his one last little comment that just sets Darcey off, and she's pissed. And just like she did the other night at dinner when he ordered that salmon that he made sure he ate, she gets up and storms off. And then Jesse gets up and storms off. Darcey says she's done. She takes her mic off, hands it to the producer, takes her heels off, puts her flip-flops on, and starts walking down the street back to the hotel. Jesse realizes that Darcey is serious this time, that this is not part of the act or the play that they are trying to produce, and that she really actually left. And so he left too. Darcey gets back to the hotel. She's distraught. She's shook. And she's hurt and upset. She gets in the bed with her full face of makeup on, laying her brown, dusty face on those clean white pillowcases, and just proceeds to sulk. Jesse comes in a few minutes later behind her and says he's going to sleep on the couch because, you know, it's too tense and he just wants her to better her. Whatever. He starts crying. Jesse comes in and sees that she's crying, so he kneels down because, you know, he thinks he's Prince Charming and is just... Y'all, I'm honestly losing interest as I'm talking about this. These two are terrible for each other. They can't even get through a meal without arguing. They can't do anything without bickering and fighting. It's the worst of kind of relationship, and it should stop. It needs to stop. Of course, you know, I think that, like I said before, I think they're doing this just for the fame. I think they're doing it just so they can stay on TV and be relevant, and hopefully, you know, each other's careers will take off. I don't think that there's any love here. There's no love in this home. It's just the stupidest thing, and it's just starting to get hard to watch, honestly. So the next day, they leave New York and are on their way to Connecticut. It starts out real cute with a little car ride. Jesse is so excited. He's like a kid in a candy shop. He has his little headband on. He has his ripped up t-shirt looking like he got into a fight with a wildebeest honey. He is giving me wildebeest realness with that ripped t-shirt. He's so excited when he sees how beautiful Connecticut is and how country and how homey it looks, and he just wants to move there and rent out his apartment in Amsterdam and blah blah blah, and they're all hugged up and excited. And then for some reason Darcey says that she doesn't have any room, and he's elbowing her, and they at it again. They arguing over armrest room. They're like 7-year-olds at this point. Like, they will argue over literally anything. Like, she could have just scooted over and not said anything. Or Jesse could have just said, I'm sorry, and just move over and left it at that. But it has to turn into a whole argument. So now the rest of the car ride is ruined, honey. They can't even have a happy car ride to Connecticut. So they get there, and of course, you know, they're bipolar. This relationship is bipolar. They go from high to low in 2.2 seconds. 1 second, they are hugged up, kissing. The next second, they're at each other's throat, and then they go right back to being hugged up, kissing. He's picking her up and carrying over the threshold and all kind of foolishness. Child, I'm so tired of Jesse and Darcey. Now that they're in Connecticut, it's finally time for Jesse to meet Darcey's twin sister, Stacy. Now, Stacy has Darcey's original face, because these two ladies do not look anything like each other. But if you close your eyes and just listen to them talk, they sound exactly like. When Stacy was talking, I could have sworn Darcey was talking. They have the exact same voice, but I can see clearly that Stacy has the original face that Darcey had before she decided to become a Thundercat. Immediately, I can see that there's a little tension in this sister relationship, because Stacy started out going in on Darcey a little bit, and I was like, why are you throwing your sister under the bus like this? Y'all clearly don't get along. We already know a few months ago they got arrested for fighting in the street, which I'm not actually that kind of mad about, because my grandma and her sister fought in the street like 50 years ago. So, you know, that's not even that strange to me that they did that. But anyway, Stacy says that she's the cool, calm, collect one, and she lets stuff brush off her shoulder. And that immediately triggers Darcey, because she immediately starts acting like she's cool and calm and collect. Meanwhile, she starts acting like a wild banshee, because Stacy said she wasn't cool, calm, and collect. That really rubbed her the wrong way, you could tell. The whole dinner was just awkward. Stacy, I like her, actually. I like her personality. She seems a little bit tougher than Darcey. And she made a lot of sense, the things she was saying. She was wondering if this is a real relationship or if it's just a little infatuation, and she don't know that they're really right for each other. Stacy was really genuinely trying to get to know Jesse. Darcey really wasn't letting him get a word in edgewise, and it was really starting to piss him off. And so in the little interview they had outside, the producer's asking Jesse questions, and Darcey's trying to answer for him, and he's just fed up with it. He just tells her, look, I can't talk to them while you talking. And he had a point. Now, he said it was a little rude, but she was being a little irritating by talking over him and answering the questions for him. Like, girl, they not asking you. They asking him. Chill out. Like, both of them need to just chill out. He is way too aggressive and abrasive. She is way too annoying and just whiny and always wanting to get the last word in. They're both irritating. They're both horrible. This relationship is garbage, trash. Throw it away, outside. I'm really over them. So let's just go ahead and lay them to rest tonight, because I don't know what's going to happen with them in the next few weeks. But y'all, I think this might be the last time that I give them a full review, because I'm just over this whole relationship. I don't feel like it's genuine. I don't feel like it's real. And I don't feel like I should be wasting my time on it anymore. And neither should you. They're the new Pal and Russ. Their relationship irritates me. And when I'm watching it, I get irritated. And that's not good for my soul. I want to laugh. I want to have a good time. And I shouldn't be irritated while watching somebody. So we're going to lay Jesse and Darcey's relationship to rest. Deceased. Throw it away. Let's move on to the next couple. So next is Paul and Karine. So, you know, I am really trying to figure out what the heck is going on with Paul and Karine. And I'm going to tell you, there are two possible scenarios that could be going on. I really sat down and thought about it, analyzed it. And there's two things that could be going on here. The first thing is that, because we all know Karine is already pregnant in real time. we know it. Paul put the pictures up on his Instagram and then took them down because he was violating the NDA or whatever agreement he signed with TLC, I'm sure, by disclosing that information. He was spoiling the show, so they made him take that down. But people got screenshots. We already seen her baby belly pics in their wedding and everything. So we know that Karine's pregnant in real time. The first scenario is that this baby is Paul's. That it's possible that maybe Paul got Karine pregnant on his previous trip to Brazil 4 months ago, and Karine might be 4 months pregnant. They both know that she's pregnant and it's his baby, and they and the producers are aware of this and are trying to sell a baby storyline. So that's why the whole, oh, I want to start a family now. Karine has never talked about wanting to start a family immediately, ever. I've never heard her or Paul in the previous season or in this season talk about having a baby. This is the first I've heard of it, and I think it's a little bit convenient timing. So it might be a little storyline cooked up by the producers to try to throw this whole instant ready-made family in there because they already know that she's pregnant. So they're going to pull, they're going to use that for their storyline. The second scenario is that Karine is pregnant now. The baby is not Paul's. That Paul left 4 months ago to go back to the U.S. Karine got pregnant somewhere in that time, and now Paul has come back, and she is trying to pass off a baby as his that's not his. Paul has no idea. Maybe the producers don't know that Karine's actually pregnant, and that she's just trying to be sneaky. She immediately wants to start a family right after, or right now, actually. She don't care about the wedding. She just wants to start a family, which I think is real strange. Because I'm like, girl, you're already pregnant, so you're trying to hurry up and start this family because you're already pregnant. And so it's going to look a little better if you have said something about starting a family and then it's like, oh, I'm pregnant. Remember I said I wanted to have a baby? Girl, you already pregnant. Stop it. Those are the only two things that make sense to me. I don't know whose baby this is. I have no idea. I don't know the timeline. I really want to know when Karine's due date is and how that lines up with when Paul got back to Brazil. That's what I need to know. So if anybody can find out this information, which is going to be hard to now because, of course, Karine's whole Instagram account is shut down. Paul is not posting anything because TLC apparently gave him a lecture and told him he can't be talking about that kind of stuff because it's going to ruin the show. So I need to know. This is driving me up the wall. I need to know what are the dates and how they line up so we can figure out if this is Paul's baby or not. But Karine's already pregnant. Karine's cheeks are chubby. She looked even more pregnant this episode. Her belly looked like it was poking out. She had on a little crop top and her belly was just poking out. Her face is chubby. She's pregnant. And now she wants to talk about having a baby. That came out of left field. I've never heard her talk about having a baby. In her interview, she said that the reason why she wants to have a baby is because she's scared that Paul is going to leave her, go back to the United States and never come back. And if she has a baby, that'll be a tie for him to come back. I thought the marriage was going to be the tie. So wasn't the plan for them to get married in Brazil and them live there for a little while and then him bring her back with him to the United States? Like, why do you need to have a baby? He's already said he wants to marry you. He's marrying you. They filed the paperwork. Everything's good. They're getting married. So to me, the baby thing just seems like a plot, honestly, because she knows she's already pregnant. It's just all strange. It's all weird. Paul is kind of sort of all aboard. Karine somehow convinces him that having a baby is a good idea by saying that it'll make their bond stronger and they'll stop fighting. Yeah, having a baby screaming and waking you up at 2 a.m. and not getting any sleep is going to really create a love bond between you. Right, Karine. Paul is convinced that a baby is a good idea. But then he FaceTimes his mama, and Mama Paul is having none of it, honey child. She is like, no. She don't even want the marriage to happen. She's like, so y'all want to get married and y'all can't even speak each other's languages. I mean, she was just dropping the truth. I mean, she was speaking the truth to Paul. It was things that Paul needed to hear. It was all stuff that he needed to hear. And Paul was just distraught. Did y'all see the tears in that man's eyes? He was so hurt that his mama was not on this wedding side. I think that the close relationship he has with his mom was really getting to him, because if his mom doesn't approve of him doing something, I think that really means something to him. Like, he's not just going to be like, oh, forget what my mom says, I'm going to do it anyway. He was like really in a tough dilemma. He was hurt. He was about to cry. Everything he was telling his mama, she was like, nope, 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 no, no, no. You don't need to have a baby. Babies cost money. What language the baby going to speak? Like, y'all can't even talk to each other, but y'all going to raise a baby? She was speaking the truth, and I was with her. I was like, yes, Mama Paul, get him. He was just hurt and upset about it. Paul, poor thing. He was really distraught about his mom not approving of the wedding and the baby story. And I think it started to make him have second guesses. Paul and Karine in their apartment. Child. Ooh. Paul already looks like he don't keep a clean house. And then he has a girl, like, who is not responsible and an adult, really. And so, of course, she don't clean her room unless her mama tell her to. And that apartment just looked... It looked nasty. I can only imagine how it smelled in there. Because it was toys and clothes and just clutter. And I'm not a neat freak, but I can't stand clutter. I need my floors to be clear. I need the walkway to be clear and open. I can't stand no junk piled up. Oh! It made me want to scream when I saw that doggone apartment just piled up with crap. The kitchen was nasty. It was the George Foreman grill wasn't washed out. Then Paul's bossing Karine around like she's his daughter. I mean, Paul, this is going to be your life. This is what it's going to be like with Karine. I mean, especially now that she's pregnant, honey, she is having that end of the first trimester pregnancy tiredness where you don't want to get up and you need 3 afternoon naps. She probably had a little morning sickness. She was just not feeling like doing anything. She looked a hot mess. Honey, Karine must be having a girl. And it's a healthy girl because they say girls steal your beauty. Because I feel like every time Karine, Karine wasn't like gorgeous, last season. But I feel like she was like kind of a cute girl. This baby has broke Karine down, honey. Karine looks a hot mess, y'all. She look a mess. When I tell you a mess, Karine got up out that bed. I didn't see no comb or brush get picked up to comb that hair. I'm like, girl, do you know what camera crew is in your house? Can we do a little something to the face and the hair? Brush your teeth? Karine just don't care. And that's what happens when you get pregnant. You tired. Okay, this baby whooping up on you. Your hormones is crazy. You're exhausted. You need a nap after you just woke up. I mean, this baby is just giving her the business. Paul gets up and proceeds to clean up the house and is bossing Karine around. Karine says Paul treats her like a child. You are a child, Karine. And Paul needs to be. If you don't know when you have your own place to get up and clean up yourself, and he has to tell you, you're a child. Like, you should be doing this on your own. You should have got up and helped him. That's y'all's place together while he's here. You should have got up and helped him on your own. But you're a child, so you didn't. Child, they went to the grocery store. And you know what? Paul really annoyed me in the grocery store because how hard is it to pick fabric softener? I mean, Paul really wanted Karine's full, undivided attention while he chose between Ocean Breeze and Tropical Scent. Just pick one. Who cares? I was with Karine on that one. She's irritated and annoyed by him. He's speaking her in English. She really don't know English that well. So she's just looking at her phone like, whatever, dude. You're going to keep speaking to me in English. Like, I'm going to act like I can't hear you. Paul was being super annoying. I guess he wanted them to like skip hand in hand down the aisles and like, he wanted this to be like a Disney movie or something. I'm like, boy, if you don't pick some Comet and some fabric softener so we can go, like, how hard is it? Why do you need me? Which one do you want? Do you want Ocean Breeze or do you want Tropical Scent? Karine, will you get off your phone, okay, for 2 seconds? All right, I'm trying to pick fabric softener. Boy, don't nobody care. Like, pick one, whatever. The clothes gonna be clean. Who cares? Like, he was being real irritated in that grocery store. And even though Karine is like a teenager, I was kind of with her because I probably would have done the same thing. I don't know what Paul and Karine gonna do because Paul's starting to, his eyes are starting to be open and see how much of a child that Karine actually is, and she is. Babies raising babies, God help them. Let's move on to the new couples. All right, so I'm just gonna get into Ricky. I'm not even gonna say Ricky and Melissa because that's dead and gone. It's the day after Ricky's date with Melissa, and he thinks that things went well. You know what? Ricky's level of delusion is like, he's like on Nicole. Like, he's like Nicole level delusion. Like, he really thinks that things are going well with Melissa. He thinks that Melissa liked him, that Melissa is actually the person he's been texting, and that the date went well. I don't understand. He's loving Colombia. He's in his little raggedy Airbnb or whatever that is he's staying in, and the only thing that he like is the coffee. Ricky is delusional. This man lives in La La Land. He gets on the phone and he calls his cousin to give him a recap of the date last night. Ricky straight up lied. And you know the thing about Ricky, when he lies, I don't even think it's a lie to him. Like, he really, like, that was his perception of what happened. So I almost don't feel like he's a liar because he's so delusional he don't realize he's lying. It's like that's how he saw the evening. So he says that Melissa was 2 hours late. He said that she was supposed to come at 7:30. First lie. The date was at 7 p.m. And then she said she wasn't going to make it till 7:30. So she was already late. Yo behind was there at 6:45. 7 was the time of the date. He said she got there around 9. Another lie. She got there at 9:59. It was 10 o'clock. Ricky, you did not wait 2 hours, boo. You waited 3. He tells cousin that everything went good. Oh, she liked him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know who saw this. What date were you on? And then he says he gets, after the date, he walks her out to the cab, and then she tried to kiss him. And then they showed a clip, and it was like an awkward hug. And he was like, oh, I turned my cheek. Melissa was not trying to kiss you. She was backing up from you because she thought you were trying to kiss her. It was the most awkward hug I've ever seen, and Ricky is super delusional if he thinks that that girl or woman or whoever it was trying to kiss him. Boy, good night. At 11:30 a.m., good night. The cousin is just cracking up because he thinks that, you know, Ricky rejected Melissa's kiss, and he's like, that was not a good move. And so Ricky's all worried now that he blew it with Melissa. Yeah, that's what blew it for you. Not telling some girl that you've never met nor talked to that you're giving her red roses because you love her. That's not what blew it. No, no. He texts Melissa now because it's the next day, and he's so excited to link up with her again and go on date number 2. But unfortunately, Melissa texts him back and says, oh, she can't hang out today because she has homework to do. And then sends him a picture of a bunch of papers and notebooks. I'm like, that looked like a stock photo from Google, but whatever. Ricky's real bummed out, but Melissa says she can't hang out that day. So Ricky proceeds to go out in Columbia and wander the streets by himself, and then harass Melissa the whole day saying, can you come out? Oh, wish you were here. Sending her horrible, sad man, lonely man dinner selfies of him around Columbia when this girl already told you she can't hang with you. She already told you no. She said she was doing homework all day. So my thing is, why would you keep sending her messages saying, oh, I wish you were here. Hope you can come. Can you come hang? No, she already told you no. So stop acting like you didn't know the girl told you no. He wandered around in camo on camo with a fanny pack and a bandana on, getting his picture taken, talking about this for my girlfriend. You don't have a girlfriend. He went around eating food, sending her selfies, talking about, can you come out? She said no. So why are you still texting her? You know what? I bet, can you imagine being the person on the other end of these messages? Like, you're the scammer who got this dude to send you thousands of dollars, and he's sending you, I would be weak. I would be laughing so hard. I had all my friends, he'd be in the group chat getting roasted. Do you hear me? I bet they are, oh, they probably hanging this man up on the cross right now laughing at him. It's pitiful. It's really sad, actually, but he done left his whole family, daughters, and everything to come over here and get clowned. Clowned. Ricky, Lord have mercy. The fact that, oh my God, I don't even have any words. Ricky, I wish that somebody with a machete had run up on Ricky to rob him so that he would go home. It's over. Like, leave. No. No. According to the episode preview for next week, Ricky found some other girl. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even care. He's so pitiful and lame. Whatever. Best of luck to you, sir, in your future endeavors. Let's move on to the next couple. Next is Angela and Michael. Now, after a rompous night of lovemaking, Angela and Michael have decided to go meet Michael's mom. Angela did just such a great job when she came into the little village where he lived. Finally, they get to the house and Michael's mom comes out and she is just overjoyed. She has arms open wide. Angela and her are just hugging and they're laughing and smiling. It was real cute. It was the cutest little meet up. I was just smiling because it was just so sweet and cute. And so then Angela, you know, says she has a gift for her and she pulls out the purse and Mama looks at the purse and she like, so thank you, but I'd rather have one like what you have. So she wasn't really too keen on the purse. She wanted a big one like Angela's. Angela took it with stride. So you could tell Angela was a little annoyed, but she held it together. Angela was doing great. She was doing an amazing job. I was giving her A+, A+, A+ for everything she did. From her walking in and shaking all the villagers' hands, all his neighbors, and she shook everybody's hands. She wasn't scared. She had a smile on her face. She hugged his mom. She was being real friendly. She held her poker face together when mama didn't like the purse, because I could tell she was a little annoyed that she wanted another one, but she held it together. It was just beautiful and adorable. When they got in the house, they were having discussions. She was asking good questions, saying, what are you worried about, you know, with me that you wanted with a Nigerian woman? I mean, A plus, A plus, A plus. Angela was doing it on this first meet and greet with Michael's mom, and I was like, I can't believe, where did this like coof come from? She is acting like she got a little sense. Of course, Michael's mom is just nervous that, you know, she's a headstrong American woman and that she will not obey her son. She really wants her son to be the man, even though Angela is wealthy. And, you know, that's going to be the big thing in this relationship, because Angela is extremely headstrong and she's not going to let Michael push her around. I think Michael wants a subservient, a very submissive woman, and she's not going to be that. So that's going to be the big thing in this relationship. Angela was doing great. I was giving her A plus green check marks in every box until Michael's mom brought out lunch and it was snails. And you know what gets me is these women want to get these men from all these other countries, but yet you don't want to embrace their culture. You already know that you don't eat vegetables. You know you don't eat nothing but burgers and McNuggets. And yet you want to marry someone from a culturally just diverse country where they eat so many different things and you're not even willing to try them. Well, maybe you should have been with a man from Georgia like you who likes eating burgers and fries, Angela. So the snails come out and they look like they were well seasoned. They look like they had some nice herbs sprinkled on them, some tomatoes. I would have eaten the snail. I would have just eaten it. Even if it wasn't good, I would have eaten it just out of respect for Michael's mom. So I was with Angela because I thought she was going to do like Larry at first. And then she ate it and I was like, okay, good. She ate it. Woo! We made it through that. And then this heifer leans over to Michael and whispers, Michael, kiss me and take the snail out of my mouth. And you know what? It's a lot of things I would do for a green card. I would do anything for a green card. I would do anything for a green card. I would do anything for a green card. But I'm not doing that. Ain't no way this woman would have put her mouth on mine and spit some half chewed up snail in my mouth for me to finish. When I tell you I was done, we were 6 minutes into the episode and I was done. TLC with the grossness. First I had to watch John throw up, half brush his teeth and go kiss Rachel. Now I gotta watch Angela eat some snail and then spit it into Michael's mouth in a fake kiss. That was obvious what she was doing. And mama looking right at you. Mama ain't 3 feet away. You think she didn't see that? That was so disrespectful and nasty and disgusting. She gets an F. She had all them A's, and when she did that, F for the first meet and greet. F. You failed, Angela. You failed us all. They go outside and meet Michael's friends, and, you know, they're skeptical. They talk about, you know, the whole picture thing. And, of course, Angela asks, what, you know, why does Michael not have pictures on my phone? And dude tells him the same thing that Michael told him, that the police will pull you over, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm sure that's the lie all of them tell their American girlfriends, that they're scamming to get to America. That's probably the lie. I didn't think that that proved anything. How you know? Dudes lie for each other all the time, Angela. Come on, you got to know the game better than that, boo. Michael makes Angela get up the next morning and go out to the markets to shop. Angela says she's exhausted after meeting Michael's mom the day before, but she's going to be a trooper and she's going to go and try on some dashikis. They pass by a carton of cigarettes and Angela's eyes light up. Michael's like, no, no smoking. Angela's like, no, I need my cigarettes. And, you know, she convinced Michael, I need my cigarettes. I'm not going to smoke no more after this pack. You know that's a lie. Every smoker say that. This is the last pack. This is the last carton. Yeah. She goes and smokes her Camel cigarette down to the filter real quick, fast and in a hurry, and then they go in the shopping store. Angela is a big woman, but I didn't really understand what was going on with the whole, I don't want her to bring the dresses out. Angela didn't want to wear the African garb, honestly. She wanted nothing to do with it. She says that since Michael knows that she's an American, that he shouldn't expect her to wear that. Girl, bye. You are in this man's country. He's supposed to be the one you love. You bought him an engagement ring. Put the dashiki on. If you want to marry somebody, how do you expect to not accept their culture and not do anything for their culture at all? Like, I don't understand that. Just because you're an American, you're marrying someone from Nigeria. When he comes to America, he's going to have to do a lot of things he probably don't like to do that happens in America. So what are you talking about? Like, no, put the dashiki on, Angela. Stop acting like a baby. She's like, don't bring them out. Just hold them up. Well, you got to try it on. Was there not a dressing room? Did she think they were asking her to get naked right there? I wasn't clear on what the deal was. It just sounded to me like she was trying to get out of putting it on. She was like, she's self-conscious about her size. And, you know, Michael wants to translate that to the girl. And Michael translated it all wrong, because he just says straight up, she doesn't want to put the clothes on because she's fat. And that stung, that hurt Angela's feelings. You could tell she slaps him. She's immediately upset. It was a mess. And I feel like that's a cultural thing, because I feel like Michael's really blunt. I mean, he already called her masculine. I feel like that's just how he talks. I think he's just blunt and just says things. He doesn't... sometimes Americans, we are the sugarcoaters. A lot of other cultures don't do that. They just say it. And they don't think anything's wrong. And it really hurt her feelings, you could tell. But, I mean, that is basically what she said. She did say she was self-conscious because she's bigger and about her weight. And he just said the word fat. So they kind of said the same thing. He just said it in a slightly more offensive way. But she was 38 hot when he said that. And she's like, come on, let's just go. And she was just had an attitude for the rest of the day. And she was like, you said it. You meant it. Don't try to backtrack now. You think I'm fat. And I'm like, well, Angela, you are fat. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people are offended by the word fat, but Angela is fat. I mean, should Michael have probably used that particular word? No, but if it walks like a duck, I'll stop now for y'all get mad at me. But that was it for Angela and Michael. I don't think this relationship is going to work well, because they are going to be way too different. Michael wants Angela to simmer down and obey, and Angela wants to be loud, and she's not going to like Michael's attitudes and how he says things, and this is just not going to work. This is going to be a disaster, but I'm here to watch it. Let's move on to the next couple. Alright, so next is John and Rachel. So John and Rachel have woken up after their first night together, and Rachel is just so happy and excited because she got to wake up next to John. I mean, whatever. They ask them how their first night went, and Rachel just kind of pauses and says it was good and it was mad. There's a lot of chemistry, and and then they ask John, and John just stares off blankly into space. John didn't know how the first night went. I don't even know if he remembered it. I think it's gone. I think it's out of his short-term memory at this point. I don't think he even knew who the girl was sitting next to him. They was like, how was your first night, John? Finally, he said it was good, and I don't think he even remembered the question, honestly. He just said it was good. Child John's brain, we're going to keep it lifted up in prayer. So they're just kind of just molding right on into family life. They're giving baby Lucy a bath. I'm not even going to get into that. But if he's going to be this baby's daddy, I know a lot of y'all were pissed off that he was giving the baby a bath and blah, blah, blah. First of all, Rachel was right there in the room with him, watching him. And second, if he's going to be this baby's daddy, he's going to have to bathe her at some point. So y'all just going to have to get over that. Rachel, of course, starts bringing up the whole, what is baby Lucy going to call you? And John does not want to be called daddy. He thinks that it's wrong. He thinks that it's something that they're going to have to explain later. And I think Rachel does not want that. Rachel wants to brush this whole, he's not the actual father, and there's a real daddy somewhere in the world that might come back later and be like, I want a relationship with my daughter. She wants to brush that under the rug, erase that whole night that she got pregnant with him. She wants to erase the existence of this child's biological father and just let John be the daddy. And you know what? I don't really think that's right, Rachel, because Lucy does have an actual father. And to deny him the right to get to know his daughter is wrong. And I kind of agree with John, even though the story that he told, it kind of started trailing off. He talked about, you know, he has daddy issues. His dad wasn't in his life. He met him older, and then it was like he saw him once a year, you know, on his birthday or something. And he said he doesn't like the name dad because of how his dad treated him. I think that's a little silly, because I feel like you should be like, I'm going to be a better dad than my dad was. But, you know, to each his own. That's how John feels, and I validate his feelings. He's like, yeah, you know, we're going to have to explain this to her later. And Rachel's like, who going to have to explain it? You, her daddy, and I'm leaving it at that. Of course, this brings up the issue of all the rumors going around that Rachel and John are making up this whole storyline, that they actually met before, and that Lucy is John's baby. A lot of people say Lucy looks like John. I don't see it. They say she has John's eyes. So an 8-month-old baby would have the same eyes as a man who has had 86 concussions and is dead and is thinking nothing most of the time. Yeah, they do have similar looks. They both look like they're thinking about their next meal and boobs. I honestly don't think that Rachel and John met before and that this is John's baby. It just seems like an elaborate lie. I mean, John went through this whole story about how Lucy's not his and he doesn't want to be called dad. They would have to have lied to get on the show when there's other franchises of 90 Day Fiance that cater to people like them. Even if they had met before, they could have gone on 90 Day Fiance and we could have followed their story to get their marriage license. I mean, it just seems silly to me to make up a whole storyline just for like $8,000 in the TV show. And it's a real elaborate lie. A lot of people are just trying to make sense of the craziness, and I think that they're just nuts, you guys. I know you're trying to make it make sense. Oh, the reason why he was on FaceTime and she sent him an umbilical cord is because it's actually his baby. No, they're actually both nuts. I don't think that there's any logic in this story. I know you guys really want it to make sense because it is crazy to send somebody your baby's umbilical cord. It is crazy to have somebody on FaceTime. It is crazy for him to be cool with her getting pregnant right in the middle of them talking. It is crazy. But these two people are nuts. I really think both of them are off. And so I don't think there's any logic. I don't think there's any reason in this relationship. I don't think it's not going to make sense. So I know you guys really, really want to make this make sense by them having meeting before secretly and then lying. This is too long of a lie and too much. Like, this too much. If they are lying, this is ridiculous because they done went through a whole daddy issue story as to why he don't want to be called daddy. If that's his actual baby, why would he have even said that? He would have been like, okay, yeah, she can call me daddy. Because it is his baby. He wouldn't have even told that story, I don't think. And if he is just lying, y'all think John can remember a lie? Y'all think they gonna tell John, hey, we're gonna lie about this storyline. You think he's gonna remember what he's supposed to say? You think he gonna remember his lines? No, this ain't no lie. These two people just crazy. That's not John's baby. I think the story that Rachel told is the truth. I just think it's messed up. Now, I could be wrong. You know, it could come out later that, hey, they did meet before and that it is his baby. That's very possible. I don't think so. I think that the storyline that they're selling is true. But that's just me. That's it for John and Rachel. Let's move on to the last couple. So last is Tariq and Hazel. So Tariq and Hazel wake up in their little condo hotel room that they stayed in. Tariq says that he didn't get to have sex with Hazel, but he's okay with it. He's not going to push it or pressure it. I have a little bit of a problem with Hazel. Now, I know everybody loves Hazel because she's so honest and she's so upfront with why she's doing what she's doing and why she's with Tariq because she wants a better life. And that's all fine and good. But my issue is I think she's been honest with us, TLC producers and the TV show, but she hasn't been honest with Tariq about it. Because if you already plan to not have sex with this man until you get married, why have y'all not discussed that? Like, y'all have been talking for months, supposedly. That seems like that would be something that would have come up. Like, he would have probably brought up sex, and you would have been like, well, I'm waiting till I get married. That's something that you can send in a text message. He's supposed to be in love with her. She's supposed to be the new stepmama to his daughter, and you don't even know that this girl is trying to not have sex until she gets married. He says that he wants to know if Hazel really loves him for real because he really loves her for real. You don't already know what her plan is? She's already told us in the first episode that she is trying to get a better life. Hazel doesn't love you for real, Tariq. She loves the fact that you're going to lift her up out of poverty. So I don't think that Hazel is being completely honest with Tariq because Tariq is still in the dark as far as what Hazel's plan is. They go and meet Hazel's parents, and Hazel's parents are already talking marriage because this is the whole plan. Tariq acts like he's all nervous, like, why are they bringing up marriage so soon? But weren't you just talking about this girl being a stepmom to your child? So why is marriage talk making you nervous? I thought you wanted to marry her. Like, what's the deal? It's weird. It's like both of these people don't know each other at all. Hazel don't like Tariq. She's just doing this for the betterment of her life. And, you know, that's good for her, but she needs to let Tariq know this because he's not aware of this. Hazel's parents are also kind of concerned that Tariq is not religious, but they're going to take him to church and try to make him find some religion. So they take Tariq on to church, honey. Yes, you better come on and give God some praise in this place tonight. I said, he's on time. All right, now Tariq was in there. He didn't know what the heck was going on. All right, people were screaming. People was on the ground crying. The preacher was screaming at him. Tariq ain't no church man. He didn't know what was going on, all right? But they said, listen, he may not come when you want him, but he'll. Hey! Yeah, yes he is. Tariq didn't know what to do. Tariq was in there with his head down. He was scared, honey. He was shooketh. It was a dude in there bleeding. I mean, this was a Pentecostal, down home, just tent meeting church service. Hey! Yes, he is. Hey, you better. And 6 hours after the church service has started, it ends finally, and Tariq is shook, honey. Tariq don't know what to do because he said he believed in God, but he really ain't religious, and he can't believe what he just witnessed. And my thing is, a lot of people on Twitter talking about 6 hours. Stop acting like churches around the U.S. don't have 6-hour services. You know, Sunday school started at 9, service started at 11. Y'all don't get out till 4. So let's stop. After the church service, Tariq and Hazel and her parents go outside to talk about what he just witnessed, and Tariq is like, I tell them I believe in God, but I'm not religious. But you know, and Hazel's trying to explain, she's trying to plead because she don't want her parents to say she can't marry this man because this is her ticket out. So she's like, Mom and Dad, please just, you know, he believes in God, he just ain't religious, but he respects my religion. You know, he doesn't, you know, want to stop me. He just don't want any parts of it. And the mama's like, well, my husband didn't believe either, and I brought him to church, and now he believes. And Tariq's like, okay, good for him. Hazel's mom asked Tariq, you know, do you want to go get baptized? And Tariq was like, nah, I'm good on that, bro. Tariq doesn't want anything to do with it. And you know what? The thing about religion is you can't push it on anybody. He either is going to choose to do it on his own or he's not. You can't force him. So Hazel's parents either need to get with the program that he's just not into it, which I don't even blame him. You know, he was saying he didn't know what to do with himself. I wouldn't know what to do with myself in there. It's awkward. You don't know nobody. You know, they screaming, folks crying and sweating and bleeding. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in on the first time. And then you try to ask me to get baptized. No, I'm not. What we going to get baptized at? In the creek? No, I'm good. I'm good on that. No, thank you. Seemed like Hazel's parents were, you know, still on board with Hazel marrying Tariq, even though she is shocked that he's not religious, that he doesn't, you know, want to scream and cry and bleed with them at church every Sunday. And she thought that Hazel was joking when she said that he wasn't. And now that she knows that it's real, she doesn't like it. But I think that they know what this potential marriage could bring them. And so they're doing like Karine's parents, and they're just going to be cool with it. Because at the end of the day, it really don't matter. They try to get paid. Like I said, I really just don't like that Hazel is not really being honest with Tariq. She needs to let Tariq know her plan. And I know that kind of puts a damper on the whole love and romance story, but you can't be honest with him and be like, I don't want to be honest with us and be like, I don't want to have sex before I get married. I'm only here because you can bring me out of my life of poverty. And then not tell this man that. If you're so honest, then be honest with him. Okay? That's it for all these couples. That was everybody. This episode was so amazing and so crazy, and I can't wait for the rest of the season. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter at NICHI_P_tweets for all my live tweets during the show as it happens in real time. And also, if you have a Twitter page, follow the hashtag at 90dayfiance, hashtag before the 90 days, because the community on Twitter is just the best. It's like us together. We're all one big family, and we come together to collectively roast the cast every single Sunday night. It's just amazing. It's just something that you need in your life after a long week. And big thank you to each of you who are watching me every week. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next recap. Bye.
You can ask the children of Israel.